Hey guys, I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and if you're wondering why I'm zooming around in my chair, well, it's because I'm reviewing Motorola XOOM. It comes with a one... That's a really bad joke. I'm sorry. It comes with a 1 GHz processor, and it's a dual-core processor. It's running NVIDIA Tegra 2 dual-core processor, so it's the first tablet really in the retail space, to be backed by a carrier, running an awesome processor. 10.1-inch display, 5-megapixel camera, front-facing camera, and it's running Android 3.0, so it's the first retail tablet to ship with Android 3.0, and you see the 5-megapixel camera on the back. It has a nice weight to it. The problem, or the potential problem, is going to be price. It's $799.99 full retail, $599.99 with a 2-year Verizon contract, although supposedly the Wi-Fi version is coming to Sam's Club for $539, which puts it a little bit closer to the iPad. It's still a very expensive product, and for people that are even on Verizon, $599 on contract, that's pretty expensive. Is it a tablet to have? Is the iPad the tablet to have? And you should skip all this. We're going to figure it out in the review. First, special thanks to our friends at Best Buy Mobile. They aren't hooking us up with 2 of these, but they've hooked us up with a bunch of phones and a bunch of cool stuff to give you in the One Paw Bandit game. So if you do go into Best Buy to buy this, you walk out working, they'll help you set up your email and your web and all that good stuff. Enough of that. Let's check it out in the full review. Motorola XOOM review starts right now. Here it is, the Motorola XOOM with Verizon. Like I said, $599 on a 2-year contract, $799 off contract, and it's a little pricey. I mean, you look at this device, and then you look at something like the iPad. Regardless of whether you like it or not, the iPad set a price point. They launched it. It was one of the first, tablets in the retail space. They set a price point at $499. Everybody's got to match around that, or it's going to look odd, and consumers are going to second guess it. $799 full retail, $599 2-year contract. That's a little pricey across the board. Now, there's supposedly a Wi-Fi only version coming. Well, we knew it was coming, but coming to Sam's Club for $539.99. So, if that does come to fruition, that's a great price. And if you're wondering what I'm looking at the viewfinder. It's a great price, and hopefully we'll see that. But anyway, 1 GHz dual-core NVIDIA Tegra 2 processor, 10.1-inch display, Android 3.0 or Honeycomb, which is a tablet-optimized operating system with the same home screens that you're familiar with, but it's definitely, you can tell it's optimized for a tablet computer. 5-megapixel camera on the back, front-facing camera for video calling, and just a drastically refined user experience. Very pleased with it. Love the way that it looks. And we'll jump right into it. For example, you can see that the home screens are here. And you can scroll through back and forth through those. Widgets are a little bit different. The overall design is different, but you can still see that core Android look to it. If you can tell, for example, apps are up here in the right-hand corner. And this thing, there is just no way to hide the glare. Let me see if I can turn up the brightness of the screen. Maybe that'll help. Whoops, not auto-rotate. Brightness, turn that, do automatic maybe. Don't know how much that's going to help or hurt, but it's going to kill the battery, that's for sure. Widgets over here, you can see the apps as well. So it's very clean, looks good. Notifications have been moved down here to the bottom of the screen, as you can tell. 1241, Verizon's 3G, and the battery life. And then you just click on it, and this is a big plus to me for Android, whereas Android never had a good percentage meter. You never really knew exactly out of the box where the battery was. It clearly tells you 74%, and that you're on Verizon Wireless. Now you click here, you can see your additional options, airplane mode, Wi-Fi, lock screen, etc. And you can access those from there. Now this looks like a pretty decent viewing angle, so let me move some of these lights around so we try to get rid of some of the glare. There we go. If those, I was going to say if those provide a problem, let me know, but obviously you can't let me know. Apps are here. You can see all the different apps. Now they have them separated here. They have all apps and my apps as well. So you can see the apps that I've downloaded, and then you can see all apps as well. Now down here, it's where it's a little bit different. The back button, the home button, and then you can click here and see what's running as well. So I have browser, Twitter, Gmail, Talk, and settings, for example, running in the background. So you can hop over to, let's say Gmail. I want to check our Gmail, and you can see, and we'll cover this in just a second, the Gmail interface, but you can see that it pops very easily over into that, or if I want to go back to settings, I can click there. Multitasking has been improved and refined, and then you see the Google search part here. Click on that, brings up my Google just like it would on an Android phone for the most part, and I can type in, whatever I want to type in. Phone dog, for example. Can't type. There it is. PhoneDog.com, and it's bringing it right up, so you can see there. The search is on the main screen, and then of course the video or the voice recording as well. So that's what you get out of the box. But before we get into too much on Honeycomb and the way it's changed over Android versions of the past, let's take a look at the design of this device. You can see 3.5mm headphone jack on the top, 4G SIM card slot. Now this is a 4G capable device. It can use or take advantage of rather Verizon's 4G LTE service, and you have that SIM card slot along with a micro SD card slot. Both of those aren't enabled though. When they do, Verizon decides and Motorola decides that they want to include 4G on this device, they can do that very easily, but it's going to require you to send your tablet to Motorola. So the turnaround time is about 6 days. You do have to physically send it off. It's going to be frustrating, and I can just imagine the PR nightmare that's going to come as a result of that. Now on the back you can see the camera, the 5-megapixel camera with the flash power buttons back here, kind of in this iMac style configuration where you have to reach around to the back. And then you have this battery cover. Now it's a very kind of a matte back, but it does pick up the fingerprints pretty easily. You can see there just by me touching it. And then on the bottom you have your micro USB port, HDMI port, looks like a dock port, and then your proprietary or connectors for a dock and your proprietary charging as well. So all in all, feels good in the hand. 10.1-inch display, and to me it's a good size, and it has a nice heft to it. It is a little bit on the heavy side, but to me it's a nice heft and feels good when I'm going through something like CNN or more. Let's take a look at Android 3.0, Honeycomb, like I said, and look at some of the changes that I haven't covered just yet. As I said, there are 5 home screens. You can see, let me make sure I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 home screens. But the widgets have been improved, and they're, again, more of a tablet style widget format. You can see I'm going through CNN's widget, for example. Much more tablet focused. You can see my bookmarks widget here. Again, very focused towards the tablet. And then you just see it in programs. Like let's jump into Calendar, for example, and you can see that the calendar is optimized for a tablet. Take a look at week, take a look at day. Bring up Old Man McTweety, we'll look at the month view. And then you can see I have no appointments for this month, or at least Old Man McTweety doesn't have any appointments for this month. I have plenty of appointments at CTIA, but that's what that looks like. And you'll see Gmail as well. They're just optimized for a tablet layout. Now, you have your inbox stuff over here, and then when you click on one of the messages, let's do blur service, for example. You can see that the actual messages come over here to the left side, and then the body of the message comes over here to the right side. And like Android 2.2 and up, when you scroll up, that bar stays at the top, and you have your options to reply all, forward, etc. So you do have the ability, as you can see, scroll up and scroll down, and then these move over here. Now you can do it in portrait or in landscape mode, except you lose the extra column there, and then it just shortens it over here. So you can see from here, you can go to your sent messages, your outbox, for example, your drafts, your spam, and then to add an account, to do a new message, click up there, tap, 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 and you're done. Let's take a look at this while we're in here. I want to show you the keyboard. One of the best keyboards after the iPad that I've ever used on a tablet computer. Fantastic keyboard. It's partly because of the display being so large, but a great keyboard, very easy to type on. So we'll say something like, let's type it to a friend, and then we'll say, let's see, the Quick Brown Fox is a fantastic swimmer. So you can see very fast, very easy to type on, and almost like a computer, large enough to be a computer-style keyboard. I was trying to type, hey there, how are you doing, but didn't really come out, as you can see. But easy to type on, the keys are large, and then you can see by clicking here, you get your symbols and your numbers and more. Now you can use this in portrait as well. The keyboard obviously shrinks, but if you want to, you can use it in portrait. It is a little bit too wide, to be comfortable for me. I'm stretching across, hey there. Usually if I'm typing an H or if I'm typing a G, I'm having to stretch that thumb to a point to which it's pretty uncomfortable. But if you want to use it in portrait mode, you certainly can. But I prefer the landscape keyboard. Actually, it's pretty comfortable for me, even though I'm a fast typer on this, just to sit here and peck it out, for example. So, great keyboard, been very pleased with it. And, out of, like I said, after maybe the iPad, it's a close second to the iPad in terms of best keyboards on the market. Check out one of my favorite features of this tablet, at least taking advantage of the functionalities of it, and that's iBooks. You can see that because of the 10.1-inch display, books are going to come out much better on this device, and we'll see, Pride and Prejudice, for example. We'll go in here and take a look. Again, great display, very large, easy to read, and I love the page animations there as you turn the page. So as we're in the middle of changing the page, boom, 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 so you can see. I think that's cool. I think it's a nice touch. Then you can do it that way, or you can throw it over into portrait mode. Scroll down, or I'm sorry, scroll to the side, and then go there. Now if you want to buy additional books, you can. We'll click here. We'll go out, not all the way out, I apologize. And this gets me into a different topic. We'll go into shop, and you'll see that the Android market has been tablet optimized. It looks much different than you remember from Android 2.2, from 2.3. On the phone side, you can see this is just the books area. You can see Android apps and books, and then you can search the market. So if I wanted to search for a particular book, let's see, easily able to do it and see if they have it actually in there. So I happen to be a fan of John Grisham, so I can download A Painted House, for example. Bam! Once it's downloaded, I can read it in books. Now we'll see, I'll go back, jump over to Android apps, and you can see what it looks like. Now they have quite a few. It's not nearly to the extent of the App Store with the iPad, but they do have quite a few available tablet applications, one of which is Twitter, which I'll show you in just a second. But they do have a few, and then they have some top free Android apps. So it's just organized differently. You can scroll up and down through the categories, and it's all organized in kind of this box format. And you'll notice that a lot of the apps are that way as well. For example, the CNN app, the CNN app has little boxes in addition to the big box up top with the headline story. But anyway, you have the Verizon apps down here as well, the typical stuff you can download. This does come with Google Maps. I'm not really sure why you would download VZ Navigator or anything like that, or VCast Tones. I mean, there's so many easier ways to get those, but hey, if it's something you need, you know, or something that you absolutely want, it's available in the market. Like I said, categories are over here as well, but just a different layout. But again, you'll notice this kind of Android foundation. Even if it is different, you can still see these kind of traditional Android icons and just the way it looks in general. But we can go through our purchase history, we can clear the search history, and then we can search the market just like we did with books. And then bam, bring up Twitter and see the applications